Hey guys, it's Hayes with CheatSheetPros.com. Today we're going to take a look at some NBA player props using our NBA sheet for Sunday, January 9th. I put the NFL player props on the website yesterday, so feel free to check them out. As always, we're going to use a different website to look at our player logs, and today we're going to go through and we're going to look at Fantasy Cruncher. We're going to use MyBookie to come up with some player props, and then we're using the NBA cheat sheet. So let's go ahead and get started. So I've highlighted in pinkish orange some of the players that jumped out at me. I blew this up to 130%, so hopefully you can see the numbers on the Excel sheet. Make sure to click the cog down at the bottom of the YouTube window, go to quality settings, and pick 720p or 1080p, and that will definitely help your viewing. So some of the ones that jump out at me, and I'm going to focus on points mainly today. So Trey Young, when I come over here to points and I sort high to low, he's the biggest one that's got the biggest difference. So over 2 games last week, he's averaging 40.5 points, and he's only projected at 26.7. So we want to look into his player logs and see what kind of line we're getting compared to what he's been doing. Kuzma's not out yet, but I've bet his points, rebounds, assist number almost every day this week, and it's always been somewhere around 28, and he's always in the mid to upper 30s. So that's one I'm going to continue when that line is released. Vanvleet's another one. He missed 1 game, but I think he's over in 4 or 5 or 5 or 6, projected about 20 points, and he's putting up almost 30 points per game, so we're going to look at a straight wager there. Coming down, we're also going to look at Bradley Beal, take a look at his line. Darius Garland is someone that jumps out. Durant missed last game, so we want to look at him. And then, as always, the last one I posted, we talked about the DeJounte Murray assist. And it doesn't really show up a lot here, but I highlight it just because that's someone that we looked into, so we're going to take a look at that one. So the first thing I do is I open up the NBA sheet. I'm going to go through here if you want to look game by game and see what they're projected at, what they've been averaging the last 7 days, the last 15 days in DVP, and just earmark some players. Take a piece of paper, write down some that jump out at you, then come over here to the last 7 and look at the differences. Now, it could be something where they've been averaging a good number and they're still projected at a good number, so they don't pop on a difference on the sheet. So that's one we might miss or need to look into a little further. But the ones that jump out, and I'm going to come here and earmark these players. So typically, I highlight it, so let's go ahead and kind of take a look. So today, to look at the player logs, in the first video, I believe we looked at Basketball Reference or RotoWire, and then we've moved around. We've used DraftKings a couple of times. Today, we're going to use Fantasy Cruncher, the optimizer. So I'm just going to show you there's multiple sites you can use to look at a player's game log. So today, this is the one that we're going to look at. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first player. So I've got a roughly some plays that I like here. If you put them all together, these 6 plays, it pays 8,600, so 86 to 1. I believe like $1.50 pays 120 or something crazy. So these are the ones we're going to take a look at, and I will leave them up here on this screen. So the first one we're going to look at is let's see, how do we want to go down here? So let's just go down the list right here, because we've earmarked some of these players, some we haven't. So Kevin Durant points. Actually, let me save him for the other one. So let's go ahead. So we're going to look at John Collins first. So John Collins points. His line is, so once again, we're looking at least this number, 18. So 18 is a win. So over 17.5 is what we're looking at. So we're going to come up here. We're going to look at John Collins, look at his game logs. And let me make sure you can see that here on your screen. All right, let me slide this over. Okay, so John Collins, let's see. So he last played... He's played 1 game since Christmas. Before then, it was 12/25 and earlier. So this game, he came back, played the 7th against the Lakers, played 32 minutes. He's consistently around the same amount of minutes, taking a good amount of field goal attempts, and he put up 21 points. So he's got 21, 20, 17, 28, 20, 21. So we could consistently say he's putting up about 20 points. So here you can get over 17.5 minus 102. So I like putting that in there. Let me take off that one. So Collins is that first one that we're going to look at. Now, D'Angelo Russell was another one that I earmarked and was just kind of going through the logs and looking. And what jumped out at me is his assist. So let's go over here, look at D'Angelo Russell. So D'Angelo Russell's assist, taking a look at, he's played 2 games. He was out the 23rd, came back, played 2. And his assist, he only had 3 this game, but then he had 12 last game. But look at his prior 2 games, 14 and 12. So he's got 12, 14, 3, and 12. So he can go nuts on the assist. And so you can get over 6.5 minus 154. I don't want to put that much juice in there. And looking at this, in 3 of the last 4 played games, he's been at 12 or better. So I want to go ahead and pump this up a little bit and get some odds here. So when we jump from 8 to 9, we go 133 to 120. That's a good jump. But if we go to 10, so just for him to get 10 over 9.5, it jumps all the way to plus 198. And so that's what we put over here in our parlay. So I'm going to put that in there because I want this to be a long shot, and I think that's a good shot at him hitting that number. And at plus 198, I'm also going to do a straight wager on it. Just because it pays so well. Next guy we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at is Trey Young. And so we go over here. We're going to look at Trey Young. Pull him up. All right, so Trey Young. We're looking at what I like to see is a lot of the green over here. That means they're exceeding their fantasy value, which usually means they're exceeding their projection, which usually means they're exceeding their player props. So it's kind of a catch-all. So when we go down, we look at him. We can get over 28 points minus 135. Well, he's got 25, 56, 35, 26, 29, 34, 28, 41, 31, 28. So he's consistently going over this number of 28 or 27.5. So I like it. He did miss it last game, but he shot 8 of 21. So, and only 1 of 7 from three-point land. And he's going up today against the Clippers. So I don't mind this going over 28. If you want to save some money in the parlay, you drop it down to 26. It looks a little bit better. But for the sake of this video and a long shot parlay, we're going to take Trey Young over 27.5 minus 135 and really start to crank this baby up. The next guy we're going to go ahead and take a look at is Zach Levine. Levine's not going to do much for rebounds and assists. That's usually DeRozan, but he is a pure scorer. And you can see the number of 3-point attempts that he takes here. When he's on fire, like here, he had 7 of 11, 5 of 9. He puts up massive games into the 30s. Now, his last 2 games, he's only had 27, 27, 35. Had this low game of 17, which Indy's a really good perimeter team, so that's not surprising. He was 0 for 3, only got 3 3-point shots off. But prior to that, look at this, 33, 32, 30, 25, 35, 27, 27. So I want to take a look at his points and see kind of where they are at today. All right, so he's got over 25 or over 24.5 minus 120. I like that. He's pretty much doing that every game. Now it's close. These 27, 27, 25, you're probably going to get a sweat because he's probably hitting that at the end. So if you want to be safe, I want to drop this down a little bit, kind of see where the money jumps. And it jumps pretty good, but you can get this all the way down to 22 minus 385, so that's pretty good on a parlay. But at 25 minus 120, that's going to give you a good payday. And even if you want to crank this up for a straight wager and go to 30, you can get plus 145, which I don't mind. But for the sakes of this parlay, we're going to do over 24.5 or at least 25 minus 120. We're going to slap that in there. Now we're up to 16 to 1. So we're getting some good payouts. Now, the other guy that I love that always shows up on my sheet is Vanvleet. And he's going up against the Pelicans today. So looking at Fred Vanvleet, I love seeing all the green over here. Plays a ton of minutes, takes a ton of field goal attempts. Look, he's in the 20 in 3 of the last 5 games. And his points, he has 37, 19, 33, 35, 31, 27, 31. So he had this one game where he only had 19 against Milwaukee, and that's fine. I mean, everybody gets a bad game. But prior to that, he has 4 games over 31 points. So he's someone that I definitely want to take a look at. And especially on a straight bet, too. So when we go down here, we're looking at his points. So over 22.5, 23 minus 114. I love that for a straight wager. I mean, look how many times he's done that. So this number, he's over, under, over, 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 over. So he's been over that a significant amount of time. And if you really want to get crazy and get some better odds, we can even crank this up. Which, since he's been over this so much, this is one I want to look at raising. And you can just kind of see how the money keeps jumping. Now, if we jump up here to 30, we get 181. 30 is kind of sketchy. I want to get something a little bit safer. 29, 166. But at 28, so over 27.5, I can get plus 150. I like that. And you can see here when I screenshotted this a few minutes ago before the video. It was plus 160. It's already down to plus 150. So money's coming in on this. So I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and add this over 28. So we've got 2 plus money items in our parlay. And the last one I want to look at is Darius Garland. Let me find him. We're going to pull him over here where you can see him. So he's got some red, got some green. He was out since the 26th, so he's only got these 2 games back. But these 2 games, he's got 27 and 26 points. Look at his field goal attempts, 26, 17. And he's really solid from 3-point range too. 3 of 10, not bad. 5 of 8, really good. Gets some assists in there, some rebounds, but the points are what we're focusing on. So the 2 games he's been back, he has 26, 27, and then prior to that, 22, 28, 22, 21. So he's safely over 21 points consistently. So let's take a look at him. Okay, so he's over 21, and so over. So he's been over that many games. So we can get 20 points minus 110. I like that. That's not bad. If you want to get a little crazy, he's in that 22 to 26 range. You can kind of move this up and get some plus money. I'm going to see how much it goes up to get to 26. So 189 versus 100 is not huge. So I'm probably going to stick here with the 20 points. And if you want to go safe, whoa, it drops drastically there. So if we go from over 19.5, it's 110. But if we go down 1 point, it doubles to minus 200. Minus 3, so it really drops significantly. So the optimal place to be here is 20, this over 19.5. So I like this for a long parlay. So when I wrote it up, it was plus, I wrote it up and bet it was plus 8,600. And you can see now it's down to plus 8,300. And so this is going to be Collins, at least 18 points. Russell, 10 assists. Trey Young, 28 points. Levine, 25. Fred VanVleet, 28 points. I like this for a straight wager too. And Garland at least 20 points. So that's pretty good. So that's our long shot parlay that we're going to go ahead and do. And then let's go ahead. I want to do a safe one. So I like to build bankroll, take a bunch of juiced up lines, put them together just to try to get even money or a little better. And so we're going to run down some of the plays and we're going to build one of those real quick. So we're going to go Trey Young, 28. We're going to knock this down to 24. He's been over that consistently. It's 625, but Trey Young to get 24 points is pretty safe. LeBron, he's scoring almost 30 points a game. Let's go ahead and take a look at him. So typically what I'm doing I'm taking studs that you know are going to be in the game. You know they're going to play a lot. So LeBron, 32, 31, 26, 43, 37, 32, 39, 36, 34, 31. So safely, he's got a game of 26. Everything else has been 30 plus. His line's here. So let's see what 26 looks like. So 26 is only 357. So I love putting that in a safe parlay. But just to be even safer, let me get this down to around 5 to 600. So over 23.5 points. He's been over that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. At least 10 games in a row. So we're going to go ahead and slap that in there. Let's see. 25. Let's do 20. Let's go 24. We want to be safe with this and build some bank. Next guy we're going to go down here is Kevin Durant. So Durant points, we're going to look at him. So 32. He's one of the top scorers. I really want to take this one down a little bit if Kyrie plays today because I don't know how many shots Kyrie's going to take away. But he's got 29, 39, 26, 28, 33, 34, and etc. So here I want to drop this down and see what does 24 look like. 909. I'm going to put this in the parlay, but if you want to kick one out, this is the one I would probably kick out if Kyrie plays because I don't know. 24 points should be a no-brainer for him, but that's something that I am a little bit worried about. Levine, we took a look at. He scores an absolute ton of points. His number's 25, so I want to drop this down a little bit. 22 minus 385 is really good. I'm going to throw that one in there. And then we're going to go down here to VanVleet, who's scoring an absolute ton of points per game. He's been on fire right now. And 23 minus 114, I don't mind that. To be safe, let's go 19. We can still get it less than minus 400. We're going to slap that in there. And then one more. Let's go ahead and put Garland back on there. So Garland points. So I like that. Let's drop this down a little bit. So we could even drop to 16. and get 625. So that's pretty much a safe one. So let's go in here. So here we can get plus 180, which I don't mind it. You know, throw a unit on it. I throw 2 units on these to try to build it up. So I'm getting like 3.5, 3.6 units. But we got Trey, LeBron, Durant, Levine, Vanvleet, Garland. So we're basically 4 or 5 points below their projections. So we got a good floor for them to hit. So this is what I'm going to do for kind of my safe parlay to build up. And then again, just wants to recap some of the straight bets that I do like. I like Collins to get over 18 points. That's only minus 102. Russell 10 assists. You get plus 198. The first 2 I bet were Russell 10 assists plus 198. Vanvleet 28 points plus 160, which is now plus 150. And then I bet Garland. I feel like that number's low, so I bet those 3. And then I'm going to go through and mix and match some others. But anyways, that's what I'm looking at today for a Sunday. A lot of these are going to have the same lines on Price Picks. So if you go into Price Picks and you see D'Angelo Russell assist 7, of course, if we're betting 10, you want to take the over there. And some of these other points are a little bit lower. So look at VanVleet, Garland, Levine, stuff like that. Those are good ones to look at on Price Picks. I haven't looked at Thrive yet, but a lot of these are going to be, they're kind of comboed, so they're a little bit more difficult. So anyways, that's what I like for Sunday, January 9th. Good luck, guys, and have a good day.